right back after this break.
At the end of the first two quarters, the Blue Eagles ahead 37-31. The series is tied at one game apiece. Ateneo took game number 1. UST rowling back in game number 2, winning by 16. And the Salingawi dance troupe, you know, this cheering group, one of the best in the country and probably in Asia, because, you know, they just throw people up in the air.
Well, they've been the best in the last 5 years here in the cheerleading competitions. Well, Ateneo doing a fine job defensively, shutting down the 5 best scorers of UST, and nobody in double figures for UST. And if the point guard is the one leading the team in scoring, then you have a problem right now. And that is what Coach Pido Orencio is staring at, while Ateneo doing a good job keeping themselves above water, still protecting a 6-point margin.
And it was obvious in the first half, especially in the second quarter, when UST was in penalty, or Ateneo was also in penalty, that situation, Ronnie, that Ateneo was beginning to foul Kuan. I think they're trying to get the possessions, which matter in a game like this.
I think just playing the odds, trying to employ the hack-a-jabs ploy. And that's a legal move on the part of Coach Norman. For as long as it is within the legal framework, that is allowed. And we take a look at the stats board. Ateneo doing a good job going to the basket, shooting a lot of layups, 14 points off layups, having a lot of fast break points because of a lot of turnovers by UST. And you see here Ateneo posting 12 points in the turnover points department while giving up only 6. But the thing that really hurt UST's campaign here in the first half, giving up 18 free throws, while Ateneo shooting 16 for a very high 89% clip, while UST only making 8 out of 16. So a lot of trouble here right now for Coach Pido, but still only down by 6 points.
But say what you want about Jeff Goen and his troubles from the free throw line, he still emerged to lead the UST back with 7 points. But this is not the usual scoring pace of this UST team. On the other side of the floor, Maki Escalona just simply taking charge, carrying these Blue Eagles on his back and playing like a man possessed here.
Oh yes, and finally having a breakout game in this deciding match. Escalona with 14 points, towing all scorers for the Blue Eagles.
And you know, Escalona, when L.A. Tenorio was around, had his breakout games, one game against UP, but this is his team to run, and this season is last. As Escalona leading the scoring parade for the Blue Eagles, as Kuan is leading his scoring parade for the UST Growling Tigers. And by the way, don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, it's a great afternoon of basketball, and we have the ambassador again here, Christy Kenny, the United States ambassadors. That's Stacy McTaggart. That's Mike Hurley from the Ateneo, and that's Ambassador Kenny. And Senator Dick Gordon was telling me also, because Senator Gordon was also part of the Philippine National Red Cross, that the U.S. Government has also donated a considerable, generous amount of money. I think it's about $100,000 or more to the Disaster Relief Fund for the Milenio storm, those who were affected by it. And we thank the U.S. government, of course, and the presence of the ambassador here today, who's enjoying the game. Yes. She was here in Game 2 also. Okay, just about ready to get going. Ronnie, your checklist, please.
Well, for Ateneo, perimeter shooting is still quite a problem for them. So we put an X, JC Intal not finding his groove at the end of the first half. But we put a check on the way they control the defensive rebounds. They had more possessions than UST did. And this is the reason why it's a 6-point margin going into the locker room for Coach Norman Black.
Okay, 37-31 on the other side of the floor. The players just about ready to get going here. And quickly, the look at Pido Orencio. So many great moments in this current tournament. As to how it will end today, we really don't know.
First half belonged to the Ateneo Blue Eagles as UST. We put 2 X's on the high percentage shots look and on the way they control the offensive rebound. So far, Jervy Cruz a non-factor with his dominating performance of the offensive glass. Ateneo, terrific job in keeping him off the boards.
Off and running, first possession of the Blue Eagles. Misfires. Intel with the pass intended for Otto, going nowhere. Otto trying to make up for it by tapping it away. Unable to do so. Here's a shot by Ababu. Hit the 3 earlier. Hit one the line. It's one of them. And this game is down to a 3-point lead for the Blue Eagles.
Very important for USD to have a good start here. Stared at the biggest margin of 8 points. And here in the third period, Dylan Ababu starting out well for Coach Pido Harencio.
USD not playing its normal game, and they will call that the same way. It's an offensive foul against Chris Chu.
That is why perspective is so important going into the half. Played not their usual game yet, down by only 6. USD still has a good shot at getting their 19th round.
And that is a Sun Cellular Better Network, Better Value 3. Dylan Ababu continues to shine for USD's second connection in 2 attempts from that sector. And now they'll watch him a little more closely here. Here's Evangelista waltzing with Kramer. They kick it outside. Cortez with a 3. Almost, but not quite. Kramer uncontested for that pickup. There's Escalona slowing it down. Goes over to Chris Chu. Chris Chu already with 3 personals. The sliding in play with misfires. The passes intended for Ford Otto have not been able to get to Otto. Oh, great pass by Cortez inside to Bruce. And it's just a 1-point game.
The closest that USD has gone near the Eagles. Automatic for Jervy Cruz when he's underneath.
Donna, what do you have?
Coach Pido is still positive and eager about his boys, so I just threw in a few reminders to his boys. First thing is, keep your heads high and start afresh. The problem sitting the Tigers right now includes these. We are not making any shots, plus we have a lot of turnovers. Coach Pido suggested his boys to be very extra careful with Ateneo's fast break. Be quick in the rebound and don't be too much excited. Back to you, Seth.
In the meantime, while you were reporting, Donna, Evangelista committed his 3rd personal foul. So that will put Kunsil, Evangelista, as well as Espiritu in the same boat. JC's shot will not work. And a foul on Kramer.
Quintal, 2 out of 8 in the first half. 0 of 1 from the 3. 2 of 7 from the 2-point area. Needs to get to the basket. Needs to attack the defense of Jervy Cruz and Alan Evangelista. He is the heart of Ateneo's offense. Needs to pick his spots. Needs to take smart shots.
Kramer with his 2nd foul. Chance for USD to regain the lead they last enjoyed when it was 4-0. Evangelista, a bit of an air ball. Al-Husseini. And I wonder where this call is going. Could be against Al-Husseini. That's his 3rd. The refs not allowing anything in terms of shoving and pushing inside. And Norman Black is now beginning to realize that.
Jervy Cruz trying to power his way to get more offensive rebounds. And I'm sure Coach Pido Harencio told him at the end of the first half that he needs to establish the rebounding dominance under the Tigers.
In the meantime, an inbound problem. It's a backing violation. Haba nung inbound.
Oo, pero that baseline inbound, ang dami nang nakuha nung first quarter, sir. But
now this guy is getting more and more creative every game day as we take a look at L.A. Tenorio. Blue Eagles reobtain possession after that backing violation. Faulty passing is resulting in some scrambles, and there's a foul. That'll not count. I think it's going to go against... Wait. I think JC Intel might be guilty of basket hanging here. Yep. A foul against Ababu is 2nd, and a technical foul against JC Intal for basket hanging.
well, that foul was called prior to that slam by JC Intal. But Intal wanting to find his offensive groove.
Yep, and he's trying to perk up the crowd also.
Kasi UST crowd already into the game because of this blistering third quarter start by UST. 5 quick points. But 2 free throws.
And a chance to regain the lead. Evangelista, he is a decent shooter. He ties it up. And we're tied at 37. This will be our 5th deadlock. You can hear what the crowd is saying. don't have to translate. We're tied. Chance now for UST to regain the upper hand. Dunsil gets it to them.
7 points in the last 2.5 minutes. Ateneo still scoreless. Whatever Coach Pido said in that dugout is surely working right now for the Tigers.
Here's Maki Escalona. They're now tightening up on him as Kramer unloads. That won't work. Alroseni has a hand on it. It'll go to UST. Leah, what do you have?
Well, Seth, I think the biggest story here is the energy of the Blue Eagles. They started the game strong, and they have actually remained pumped up all throughout. Now, in the dugout during halftime, Coach Norman Black talks about playing 20 more minutes of mano-a-mano defense. He also talked about teamwork, saying that's what got us here, so play a role, and it will see us through. Back to you, Seth.
Dunsil, yes! It's a 2, and he's on fire!
10 straight points here by UST. 4-point margin for them. Ateneo needs to get its act going here in the third.
JC Intal tries something. It does not work. It will stay with the Blue Eagles.
I think Maki Escalona right now should gather his teammates and set the table for them. Execute their half-court sets because UST in its first major run here today.
And this ball game has UST turning the tables on the Blue Eagles, who led at the end of halftime by 6. This game is rocking. Back in a moment. Back with us here at the Araneta Coliseum, UST exploding for 10 points. And Ateneo has yet to score in the quarter. Their last basket happened ages ago when Ken Maracoso scored a basket. A foul on Al-Husseini. Let's see if we can catch it here. Yun, binigyan niya.
Very poor decision there, but that foul has already been called. Ateneo should gather themselves right now, defensively and offensively, as UST it's making its first major push today.
Dunsil carving room. He's on fire.
On fire with 7 points here in the third period. Brings his total to 9 points here today. And Dunsil carrying the scoring load for the Tigers here in the third period.
And if Ateneo learned anything from game number 2, it's hard when UST is already ahead and in charge. That happened in game 2 at the end of in the second round of the eliminations. In the meantime, the jump shot by Kramer. A whiff of fresh air for the Eagles, who are in battle right now, down by 4 after leading by as much as 8. A ball on the baseline. If that's Kramer, that will be 3.
This is a unit for Coach Pido Harencio that has been executing well half-court, spacing the floor well, going to the right options. And with June Cortez at the helm, Coach Norman's hack-a-jobs ploy is no longer present. And Dunsil and Ababu provides a mismatch problem to the much smaller 2 and 3 guards of Coach Norman.
Absolutely. There's Cruz on the line. 5-point lead by UST.
And I said, Ateneo played with so much energy to start this game. But here in the third, UST returning the favor. Whatever Coach Pido said, sabi nga natin, is doing wonders right now for the yellow shirts.
And Maki Escalona trying to re-energize them. And they will call everything here today.
Well, yes.
I don't think they will let anything go by. They will call everything. Leah, quickly to you.
Okay, in the last huddle, Coach Norman Black was visibly bothered with the referee's calls, especially the last technical called in JC Intal. But he kept his cool, and so did the boys and the rest of the coaching staff. And don't worry, Coach Ronnie, because they continue to up the energy and egg each other on. Back to you, Seb.
Thanks a lot. Good quick report. Here's JC Intal. Their go-to guy, the 15-footer. Nothing there. And the rebound. Is there a foul?
Jervy Cruz only had 7 rebounds in the first half. A single offensive rebound. But here in the third, not giving any offensive rebounds to Ateneo at all. They had 8 in the first half. Ateneo had more possessions throughout the end of the first half. But here in the third quarter, UST showing us why they are in the championship. Why the long shots are in the threshold of nailing their 19th title overall in league history.
Salama committing his fourth personal. Ateneo already in the penalty with 5:40 remaining. And now it's the turn of Ateneo to go into the penalty early. 6-point lead by UST. The Tigers are growling here in the third. This seems to be the quarter they like the most. Bruce nails the second as well. And the lead is 7. So far, Ronnie, just to mention the scoring so far, UST has outscored Ateneo 15-2.
Yes, a blistering start in the third. UST only had 15 points in the first half and 16 in the second quarter. But with still 5 minutes and 40, they have already attained 15 points while limiting Ateneo to only 2 points on a Kramer jumper.
UST has taken away the Ateneo fast break. The searing attack that worked for the Blue Eagles in the first half. Here's the pass inside. Later tries to force his way in, and he is fouled upon entry. Evangelista, that'll be his fourth.
That's going to be a major predicament here for Coach De Lorenzo. Although they have become more aggressive defensively and smoother offensively, this will be a major problem once again in the rotation of Coach Pido.
Keep in mind, Evangelista, Duncil trying to make a lot of hay while the sun is still shining. He's playing with 3 personal fouls as well. JC and Tal. Ateneo not really trying anything much from the outside. Intal goes to Escalona. In the meantime, the shot clock is coming down to 11. Oh, the pass intended for Intal, unable to catch it. Here comes Duncil. Duncil breaking loose. Downstairs they go. Blocked by Later.
That's a very good move there in the part of Later. 4-on-1 break. Nobody rushing down court for the white shirts. Later giving up that nice duty foul. And here you find UST defending well the half-court attack of Ateneo.
Absolutely.
Ateneo not willing to take the 3-point shot. They're looking to go inside. The thing that made them successful in the first half. But UST now more ready defensively, not allowing easy shots for Kramer and Later underneath, and shutting down the driving lanes of Intal and Maki Escalona.
And now it rises to 8 points, 47-39. You know, every time UST has needed somebody to go to, this young man, Dylan Ababo, rising to the occasion. 2 for 2, and now UST beginning to hum from the free throw line, ahead by 9 now. Ateneo limited to just 2 points in the quarter.
What a turnaround here, Seth. What a tailspin for Ateneo, and what springboard used by UST to start the third quarter.
Escalona. 6 seconds on the shot clock. Kramer, close range.
That's the battle cry of Ateneo. Take it inside. And finally, Intal with that nice find. Ateneo still behind by 7.
There's Cortez. They're not going to put Kuan back again in as far as Ateneo. As long as Ateneo keeps fouling him. Doncil not on that journey. The rebound contested. Cleared away by Later. And if that is a foul on Cruz, that is going to be his third. Now, this might be a development that will work against UST. Their front court piling up the fouls.
Oh, yes. Third personal foul right now for Jervy Cruz. But more importantly, with still 4 minutes and 20, UST once again is in the penalty set. They gave up 18 free throws in the first half. Ateneo converted 89% of those. And here with 4 minutes and 20, Ateneo finding it hard to score in his half-court sets. Can be a weapon right now for Coach Norman Blanc.
It is down to 6. Ang basketball ganyan eh. Game of momentum swings yan eh.
Game of runs talaga.
Lalamang yung isa, habol yung isa, abante, rarally, hindi maaabutan. Sabi nga ng marami, mas marami pa daw maghabol kaysa mag-maintain ng lead. Well, that's the way the game is played.
And you have to remember, the game is not won in the third period. And UST learned the painful lesson celebrating early in game number 1, Sep. Ateneo stealing that game away. Still a long way to go, 4 minutes and 6 in the third. The whole of the fourth period to be played.
Ababu, almost not quite. It's off the foot of a Tiger. It will go to the Blue Eagles. You love it when both coaches are coaching hard. Escalona shopping around. Here's Intal looking inside. Sal goes to Baracoso. Hit the three earlier. Baracoso's attempt will not work. Kramer tries to chase it down. Intal looking for the basketball. Nowhere inside. Here comes Cortez spearheading the attack. Cortez behind the back dribble. His pass is a bit wild. It'll be outside for Ateneo.
That's a much fast break attempt as June Cortez passing to the back of his teammate. Well, for JC Intal, Seb, as we take a look at Coach Pido Arencio, not happy with the play. JC Intal has to keep in mind he needs to be stable. He is a little shaky right now because he has had a difficult time finding his groove in terms of scoring.
Here's the open Later. He will not get it to go in, and Ababu is a monster inside with that rebound. You know, when you use that in basketball terms, that is a compliment.
Oh, yes. Demon off the boards.
Here's the pass to Dizon, who had a good game too. Ababu's blocked. JC Intal spearheads the attack. Look at those gazelle-like steps. And it will stay with the Blue Eagles.
Out USC Growling Tiger.
Now the Tigers want to talk things over. They go back to their lair. They are ahead 48-43 with 2:53 in the balance. Minutes and 53 remaining in the third quarter. And boy, Jack and Jill, fantastic moment. They're having a ball. And you know that life is fun. Inbound for the Blue Eagles, down by 5. JC Intal continues to try to spearhead the attack. Escalona has been stymied here. The pass intended for Later nearly lost. Shot clock coming down to 6. No shot inside. Escalona with a cut. Later block, and they foul. And they foul.
It's a good call. As Escalona making something out of nothing. And Later doing a fine job slicing to the basket.
You know, I get a kick out of this, regardless of the league I cover. And they say, the coaches sometimes complain, shot clock, didn't walk up. But you have to understand that the refs don't look at the shot clock.
Absolutely.
At least that referee in that position.
At hindi naman yun ang trabaho nila dahil yung shot clock, nasa table officials yan. They have to look at what's happening inside, call out the necessary contacts.
Well, kuminsan running frustration na lang talaga kuminsan, ano? That they're missing from the free throw line. 2:34 remaining. This is game 3. If you're watching us for the first time, this is the UAAP Finals. This series is tied at 1 game apiece. Ateneo took the first one, and USC responding with a 16-point win in the second.
And Later and Baracoso getting the minutes here as Coach Norman trying to match up with the bigger unit of Coach Pido Arencio.
And that is why Chris Chu is probably on the bench.
Yes.
Because of the matchup problems that they're flying, and Baracoso seeing some minutes because of the matching up of men. Escalona slows it down. Kramer with that sudden flash to the basket. Baracoso unable to score. Here comes Kuan, who's back in the ball game. Kuan will slow it down. Evangelista, or rather Espiritu, was begging for it. He puts up the ball. Got it!
And that is the advantage of the 2 and 3 guys. 3 men of Coach Pido Arencio. They're much taller than the point and the 2 guards of Ateneo. That's why they're able to shoot over the much smaller Blue Eagles.
50-44, USD by 6. Escalona launches a triple!
17 points today for Maki Escalona. Probably the biggest game of his young career. And Ateneo only down by a solid tie, by a single possession lead at 50-47.
Escalona trying to handle Espiritu Canlas, and Espiritu playing the top of the keyhole area. And a foul by Baracoso, and that'll mean free throws.
Well, the hack, a Kuan, continues here for Coach Norman. 1 of 6 in the first half. First 2 free throws today in the third.
Maki with the Sun Cellular, better network, better value. 3. You know what Japs could do is nail those 2 charities so they'll stop doing it. There's Kuan on the line. 1 out of 6. Three-point game. I think 18,000 or more. That's their count last time. Kuan tries to adjust. Now makes it 2 out of 8. It's a 4-point lead by the Tigers. Escalona. Here's Ken Baracoso seeing a lot of minutes here today. Intal. Escalona. 8 on the shot clock. Intal and company, they have to make a decision soon. Shot clock running down, and Escalona. It's just
Oh yes, the juice flowing from Mac Escalona. And Intal quite tired at this stage, just creating scoring opportunities right now for his teammates.
Here's Dizon trying to disengage. Go on downstairs. Wild shot by Ababu, who tries to fight for it. It's 51-49. Chance for Ateneo to tie up the ballgame. Kramer flying and fouled.
Fourth personal foul here as Ateneo responding to the blistering third quarter start by UST. Ever since Jervy Cruz sat down in the 4-minute and 20 mark of the third, Ateneo on an 11-3 run, anchored on 5 points coming from Escalona.
And now Kuan is again replaced. Midon Jarencio not going to gamble with Kuan being hacked or being fouled. You know what they lose in terms of Cortez being on the floor. Cortez is a better free throw shooter. Is the playmaking ability of Kuan.
Yes, but the smoothness in the half-court sets has been taken away by that Kuan ploy by Coach Norman.
And Ateneo is trying to patrol its ranks and the officials. And Norman Black gets 2 referees to listen to his plea. Somebody making a comment, usually nagagaling yan sa dulo. Somebody's trying to be funny sometimes.
Two free throws for Don Kramer.
Okay, we tried to catch the tail end of that one. We'll try to catch it better next time. In the meantime, Kramer, it's a 2-point game. That rattles away. 25 seconds remaining.
The hero of game 1 finished the first half with 2 points. 4 points here in the third period. Brings his total to 6. Ateneo only down by 2. Less than 30 seconds left here in the third.
And it's a 51-50 affair, UST.
For Don Kramer.
And Kramer will get a bit more rest than usual in between the quarters. And it's a different ball game again. UST making its charge, leading by as much as 9, but that didn't last very long. It's a 1-point lead by the Tigers. Baracoso watching Cortez. A second differential between game clock and shot clock. I like the way they're trying to swing open the open man. And that will bring the shot clock down to 5. Game clock at 6.
Defensive blanket here thrown by Ateneo in the interior attacks of UST. Problem for UST, Seth. Evangelista in foul trouble. Jervy Cruz in foul trouble. Espiriti also in deep foul trouble.
Si Doncil lang ang gumising talaga, no? Ha? Inbound play, which UST has done a marvelous job with. They shot a brick. That looked like the buzzer was ready to fire away, but we're in an interesting situation. A 1-point lead for the Tigers, who roared loudly in the third. Watch this Nokia best play of the quarter. Season 69 of the basketball tournament is down to its final quarter. No more junior games, no more women's games, no more other games. Only one final quarter left to play. Your season 69 is down to its final quarter, at least for the basketball tournament. The other sports will continue to play out, and you know the schedule. And you can check your athletic departments. And this game has been played fiercely, cleanly.
Oh yes, look at this. UST exploding for 20 points while limiting Ateneo to its lowest scoring output in a single quarter. Escalona, the architect of that Ateneo comeback, still eager for this title, Steph.
Maracoso with a follow-up not working. It's a 1-point game. Ateneo managing to recover via the free throw line in the third.
That's right, Seb. 4 out of 6 from the free throw line as USD once again getting into the penalty over the limit. There's still a long way to go in the third.
Later with 7 rebounds in the game. Shopping around. JC and Tal. Escalona asking for it. Chance for the Eagles to regain the lead. They led at halftime. Escalona cuts up the interior. Nowhere to go. They have to build it up quickly. And could be a 3-second violation. The third on the Blue Eagles.
Well, in crunch time, you go to your go-to guys. And JC Talas, that man has been that man for Ateneo. But today, playing 28 minutes, only 6 points, 2 of 11 from the field, and 2 rebounds. And he needs to dig deep inside to be able to lift Ateneo versus the Tigers.
Donna, what do you have?
And the boys putting all their heads together for the last 10 minutes of the game. Coach Pido just reminded them to be consistently, be careful with their moves, especially with handling the ball. The boys collected early fouls already. With this, the coach asked them to be a little more watchful with their moves. Back to you, Seb.
Thanks a lot. Maracoso with his second foul. And the refs are conferring whether pasa o tira, no, huh? And it's just a baseline and back. In the meantime, just very quickly, we'd like to thank UAAP for being our host and being wonderful hosts. And Mr. Brent Perez of the UAAP board would just like to say hi to his sister-in-law, Cecil Perez. Here's Duncil escaping, but managing to pass up to Malas. Partially blocked by Later. Shot clock coming down to 11. Here's Kuan. No, it won't work. It's in the hands of Maracoso. There's a blocking foul. And if that's on Kuan, that will be his third. Boy, USD beginning to collect early, not early fouls, but a lot of fouls.
Yes, Later, a major force inside for Coach Norman Aluseni. And Doug Kramer seated on the bench, but Later playing quality minutes for Coach Norman, getting a lot of rebounds, providing intimidation factor inside.
51-50, Escalona into the heart of the defense, but ending up with nothing. Here comes USD, a chance to increase their lead. Time down to 7:57. Duncil looking around. Chris Tew is back in the game. Shot clock coming down to 11. Here's Jervy Cruz trying to make a decision. Shoots over Aram. It won't go, and Aram picks it up. Here comes Chris Tew. And that's there with a chance to regain the lead. Another opportunity. Chris Tew slows it down. Here comes Intal. Intal thought about it. Intal hangs in the air. Won't work. Rebound contested. Yes, it's USD ball.
Intal has played about 30 minutes here, Seth. And you see him quite fatigued. No legs underneath that shot. Playing heavy minutes are Escalona and JC Intal. And let's see if this will augur well for Coach Norman, or will this be a major problem for him come crunch time.
Here's Japs Kuan making the signal with his ear. Lahat ng klaseng senyas, nakita ko yata. Here's a Babu. They can burn you from the outside. Here's Duncil. Shot clock coming down now. Duncil lets it fly. That's an air ball. Nagdarhash kumisa si Jojo.
Oh, but that 3 seconds left on the shot clock, Seth.
Oh, that's now I understand why.
As could have been a dribble drive or a dribble penetration, but Ateneo doing a good job containing their man one-on-one. Chance for them to regain the driver's seat.
Leah, quickly to you.
Play with confidence is what Coach Norman Black urged his boys to do coming into the fourth quarter. If you're open, take those shots. That's what a championship series is all about. He also reminded his boys to match up with their men and to watch their fouls because they don't want to get into penalty early. Back to you, Seb.
Thanks a lot. Doug Kramer with an attempt that doesn't work. We've been stuck here at 51-50 for quite a spell. It's getting to be too comfortable.
Talk about fatigue, Seb. These two teams just played last Saturday. And very, very big challenge right now for USD and Ateneo.
Awkward shot, finds a way to go home. Babu nailing it and increases the USD lead to 3.
His RPU standout, Dylan Ababu, is such a crafty and a clever player. Could have gotten a 3-point play opportunity there. Lucky for Chris Tew, no whistle was called against him.
Chris Tew, they're seeking him out. Intal, hang time, misses the shot. Picked up by Later. Escalona free. Intal blocked, and there's a foul. Is that going to be on Cruz?
Intal is 2 out of 13 from the field right now. Still not giving up. Trying to dig deep inside him to be able to produce the numbers in the dying stretches of this game. That basket a while ago by Babu Seb was only the first 2 points in this quarter with almost 4 minutes gone by.
By the way, the father of one of our producers, Maluneri, and of course the father-in-law of Direct Alneri, Cesar Gonzalez, passed away over the course of the weekend, and body is at Funeraria Nacional. We shall be there right after the game here. 2 free throws muffed, but the rebound, Later, he's on the line.
Well, Later doing an excellent job. Doing the dirty job for Coach Norman. Hassel plays, rebounding, blocking shots, going for the loose balls. But JC Intal, a big story here today. Struggling offensively. Ateneo still down at 50 to 53.
Foul trouble. Cruz 4, Evangelista 4, Espiritu 4, Duncil 3, Goan 3. Duncil has managed to stay away from that 4th foul. On fire in the 3rd quarter. Here comes Evangelista. You know he's going to make something happen. Duncil launches, inches short. Here comes JC Intal. Look at those big steps. Escalona, up and gone.
That's the game of Ateneo. Push, increase the pace, scoring transition. Just a 1-point margin for UST. 5 and 15 here in the final period.
Goan slowing it down. 2 team fouls against UST, 1 against Ateneo. Here's Ababu. Ababu. Alam mo kasi madadapa eh, no? And there's a shot by Kuan, nothing there. And now, Ateneo with a chance to regain the lead. Kramer trying to offer himself as a big. It's a pick and roll. That too, Kramer, pick and roll has worked all season long.
Oh yes, especially here in the finals as Kramer sliding quickly to the basket. Chris Dew attracting the defense. And that's a very poor decision there in the previous possession for Japs Kuan. Taking a 3-pointer, allowing Ateneo to get the lead at 54 to 53.
With time down to 4:29, a hang time for Mike and Lusk. And a foul. Let's see who they give it to. It's on Doug Kramer, hits his 4th foul. You know, this has worked all season long for Ateneo, and ang hirap din talaga depensa ng pick and roll eh.
Well, you have to make a decision. It's either you trap Chris Dew because he is a great shooter, or you allow Doug Kramer to slide into the basket and wait for the defensive rotation to shadow him.
Mark Anlas missing his first, standing 6'4". He's the early offense guy of UST, actually. Adjusts the free throw, can't make it. Now, we are in the pressure cooker, my friend.
Oh yes, we talk about character, we talk about poise, and what about championship experience right now?
Chris Dew busts open, Kramer traveled, good call.
3 guys on the floor for Ateneo right now. Played in 2002 championship team wherein Wesley Gonzalez, Enrique Villanueva, and L.A. Tenorio were members of. And today, Intal, Doug Kramer, Escalona trying to regain the glory for the Eagles once more.
On the other hand, UST trying to re-energize their basketball program that was in doldrums, especially in the last 5 years. The shot refuses to go. It's loose. 23, another fresh shot clock, that is. Evangelista, yes!
Just supreme confidence for this team captain of UST. He may not be playing well the whole game long, but come crunch time, he is willing to take the big shot each time around.
Before that, Escalona and Kramer were going 11 and 22. And look at this. Escalona, the game of his life, no question.
21 big points for Maki Escalona, averaging only 9 in this finals, carrying this Ateneo team on his young, broad shoulders.
To those who are weak of heart, I suggest embrace a pillow. Evangelista, shopping around. Here's Canlas. Short stab, won't work. Into the hands of Later. And a foul on Evangelista. Is he gone? Yes, he is.
Going to be the final foul on Evangelista.
Number 21, Alan Evangelista.
As he nails this shot earlier. But the problem is the emotional intensity he provides this team could be a problem for UST. On the other hand, Escalona is not thinking of tomorrow.
Well, talk about unselfishness and leadership quality and stability. He brought those 3 attributes here today. And right now, Ateneo in the driver's seat. Less than 3 minutes left in this game.
JC Intel's favorite shot does not work. Ababu has it, however. Nobody is sure of this ballgame because Ababu is there. Lead changing hands anew. It's now 57-56.
The leading scorer of the Growling Tigers pushing the ball, scoring in fast break.
Escalona on the other side. Intel, 3. Yes!
And finally, an answer there for JC Intal. Only his 9th point today, but could probably be one of the biggest baskets for Ateneo.
Ateneo not willing to celebrate too early with reserved enjoyment, as you saw in that timeout, as JC Intel nailed his 3-point Sun Cellular. Better network, better value. 3 timeout taken. Back in a moment.
You're on an MVP high at the UAAP Games thanks to Rexona First Day High. Taas kamay with confidence. Basta Rexona.
Hello UAAP fans, I'm Boone Gonzalez with U.S. Ambassador Christy Kenny. Good afternoon, ma'am. First of all, you joined us during the awarding ceremonies, but now you're here not to do anything else but to enjoy the games. What brings you to the UAAP, ma'am?
I love college basketball, and this is as good as it gets. It's great. What a great game.
Are you surprised about the passion and the energy in the venue right now?
Not at all. I feel the same way about my team. It's exciting. 2 great schools, 2 great teams, great fans.
All right, speaking of teams, ma'am, I see you're holding a yellow and blue. So I have to put you on the spot and ask you to choose who are you rooting for?
I'm rooting for the Filipinos.
Great answer.
I'm rooting for a great game.
Great answer. Thank you very much for being with us.
Great for being here. It's fabulous. I feel right at home.
It is our pleasure.
Thanks.
There you go.
In the meantime, thank you very much, Boom Gonzalez. Boom, of course, will handle the awarding ceremonies because we will have one regardless of the outcome of this one. Cortez making a decision and Ateneo takes it away. 2 minutes and 10 to go. Here's Intal. He will go straight to the basket but gets fouled. Intal had the right thing in mind. Go straight. Why waste time? The opportunity presented itself.
All started with that Kramer block on Jervy Cruz. And then another stop on that incursion by UST as Cortez threw the ball away. Intal getting enough strength here, Seth, in the last 2.5 minutes. First hit a 3-pointer. And now getting his 10th point of the ball game, pumping up the life inside this Blue Eagle campaign. 60-57, 2 and 7 left.
No team near the penalty. And JC Intal suddenly catching fire. If Duncil was hot in the third, it's Intal coming to life. But it's not a safe lead. Ateneo by 4. Ababu, as long as he's there, he can burn them. Same with Canlas. It won't work. It is Ateneo ball.
Well, once again, we would like to mention the championship experience here, Seb, of Escalona, Intal, and Doug Kramer. Nobody from the UST lineup has played in any finals before. And today, let's see if that will spell to be the big difference in their title campaign.
For a long time, none of them were even in the Final Four. Chris Chu, not there. Here's Japskuan. Here's Ababu. And a foul against Later. But neither team in penalty.
Jervy Cruz only with 9 points here today. Take a look.
Not too many touches.
Not too many touches. So
parang hindi maipasa ng maayos.
And this is also what Coach Norman did in game number 2. But Ababu and Espiritu were able to, and Duncil were able to score heavily. But today, only Ababu has scored in double figures. In games decided by 5 points or less, UST 5 and 3. Ateneo 7 and 1.
Here's Duncil. Good crossover dribble. Got it.
In crunch time, you go to your go-to guys. UST still threatening Ateneo. Only down by 2. Duncil going to work.
And the crowd knows it too. Here's Intal. Isolated. Isolated. He'll score. I have never seen him play dispossessed.
Yes, in the last 2.5 minutes. Rallying his teammates to a 4-point margin. Very poor defense there on the part of Dylan Ababu. Jervy Cruz slapped with a 5th personal foul. because Ababu gave the right side to JC Intal. And Intal, known as the Rocket, will make USD pay.
Look at those eyes. I look at athletes and I look at the eyes. The intensity is all there.
And I'm sure he doesn't see anybody here in this Araneta Coliseum.
He may not be hearing anything at this moment.
That's correct, sir.
Bonus free throw for JC.
And those are the attributes that makes a champion, sir.
Intal, oh boy, flawless in these last 2 minutes.
Yes, 7 points in this last 2 minutes, taking over where Maki Escalona left.
Smart move by Japskuan, trying not to touch the ball until the right moment. Doncil, however, is not yet done. Espiritu is there. He can nail a three. He does.
Dangerously close are the Growling Tigers. That's why they are in this situation, but they need a defensive stop against JC Intal,
who is again isolated, who again flies, overcooks it. The rebound controlled by Doncil. 50 seconds remaining. Here comes Doncil, slowing it down. Looks for the open man. Espiritu shakes, begs, goes to Ababu. They decide there's a push. Still no team in penalty. Although that is the fourth foul of Ateneo.
Ateneo still has 2 timeouts in its arsenal. UST only with 1. And Coach Pido will not be calling his final timeout. Still 43.5 seconds left as Coach Norman calls the first of his last 2 timeouts.
And we shall be back in a moment with the last 43 seconds. Final 43.5 seconds of the men's basketball tournament. A 2-point lead by the Blue Eagles. Penalty situation at both teams, a foul away. Both teams with a timeout to call. Full shot clock for Usted. Doncil rushes, lobs it, will not make it. And a basket. And it is UST tying it up at 64.
Great execution there. Very quick basket for UST.
Here's Intal. They will go to him almost exclusively here. But here comes UST. But Intal saving it. Ateneo ball.
Ateneo has 1 more timeout left. 21 seconds left in this deciding affair between the Tigers and the Eagles.
And at Ateneo timeout, we shall hang on to the air. Oh boy, UST must be thinking, what is Norman Black planning now?
Well, for the record, Ateneo has 4 games decided by the last shot. That went in their favor. 1 coming in game 1 of the finals, sir.
We also had JC Intal winning the game against
twice
at FEU.
Once we get the ball, I'll give you the inbound. Once we get the basketball inbound, you have 21 seconds. I want the last shot. I want the last shot. You understand? So we want to go with about 6 seconds to go. 5, 6 seconds. All right? I want to get the ball to... I want to get the ball to Chris 2 right here. All right? All right. What we're going to do? I'm going to get the ball to Chris 2. So I want 2 screens. 1, 2. Chris, you're going to come out. JC, you're here. You got it? You're going to come and set a back screen. A back screen. You're the one handling the ball. All right? Too big. Too big. 1, 2. Chris coming up. JC, I want you to come from behind. You got to hurry up. Go off. Go off. Attack. There's a penalty. Now, if the balls go to you, give the ball back to JC. Attack. There's a penalty. About 10 seconds to go. Let's go. 10 seconds. 10 seconds. Go. All right. Guys, let's get the basketball.
Which campus will be different tomorrow?
Katipunan or Moraita?
That's going to be
España.
España. That'll be interesting. 21 seconds.
Coach Norman wants the last shot here for the Eagles. Wants the attack to be done in the last 6 seconds. And no more timeouts for Ateneo. UST still has one left.
JC Intel with the inbound. Popping out is Escalona. Escalona not making his move. Now makes his dribble. Here's Chris Chu. Over to Intal. Intal thought about it. Goes up. Will not make it. Here's Japskoan. Japskoan rushing. I thought so. Overtime. Why not?
Why not? That's a very big step there. The part of the Tigers as Intal had the championship in his hands. But we will still play an extra 5 minutes to settle season 69.
Oh, nagkahirapan kumuha ng ticket. Sayang naman kung 40 minutes lang. 5 minutes back. We will be hanging on.
That's a good play there by Coach Norman.
I think it had its chances.
You want the ball in the hands of your best player. And Intal had the right idea. Taking it strong to the hoop. That shot contested by UST. Extra 5 minutes here, Seth.
Back in a moment.